Hello everybody, this is Willow and she's taking the class for me today. Don't get settled, Miss Willow. Hi everybody, welcome to Wildheart Yoga, Relaxation. So 40 minutes, which isn't very long really, but it's enough just to chill down after a busy few days. And I don't have my laptop with me tonight. I have given up trying to look and see who's online. I'm just treating this as a gift, and if you are there, do say hello in the chat box, or at least at the end maybe say that you watched. It would be really nice. So I always read my messages and respond if I can. It makes me feel like it's worthwhile. But I also put these on YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel and they can be watched again and again on YouTube for those who want to. So this week is actual real life in-person yoga as opposed to the yoga nidra. And I've brought with me my little basket of intention cards, which I am working on getting made into proper cards that I can give away, or I can maybe offer for a donation. We made these last year before everything happened, and they're you're meant to choose one every day and maybe work with it during that day, or just keep it in your mind. So I thought I'd do one tonight, and I've pulled out acceptance. I accept the way things are, and I flow through life like water. Obviously that's what we've all been doing, haven't we? Flowing through life like water. I think when we find resistance, and when we do resist things that we don't like, that's when we struggle. So that idea of being able to let go into the flow of the way things are, just accepting, is an ideal, but we can aspire to ideals, I think. And we can also do it on the mat on a very small level. So on some level accepting the way the body is, the way the mind is, and just allowing things to be. By doing it on a very small level here, in the bigger world, it will resonate, it will make ripples, and our lives will get easier on a more macro level. So I'm just assuming that people are arriving, if they are arriving. Make yourself a bolster, so you can roll up a blanket. I've actually got a fantastic bolster here that my friend Karen Ackford made for me. In this beautiful fabric, and she is selling them, so do get in touch if you'd like to know more, and we will have information on our website at some stage, I'm sure. So roll yourself up a blanket, and you can make that blanket as fat or as thin as you like. It needs to be quite long, so from head to crown, and just have the bolster to one side of you. We're not going to start on the bolster straight away, we're going to start in sitting. So hopefully you've got a space around you which is relaxing, and that you're not going to be disturbed for the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, except by maybe your pets. So nice low lighting, so that you're starting to give that message to your body that it's time to sleep soon, it's time to relax. So no overhead lighting, no blue screens, and as if you can, peace and quiet. And I'm coming into a seated posture, and I'm going to sit on something. I've got these blocks which are really good. These are proper yoga blocks, and it might be worth, for the relaxation, to think about maybe having 2 of those to sit on. For some people that might be too high, but for others you know, it could work quite nicely, having a little bit of extra height. And what's nice, because I'm sitting in this Sukhasana posture with the heels lined up and the knees down. You don't have to sit like this, you could sit with your legs crossed. But what's nice about a little bit more height is it does tilt the pelvis so that you can really feel grounded with your knees on the floor. If having your knees and legs crossed is uncomfortable, you can just have the legs out in front of you in what we call Dandasana or staff pose, so just straight out in front. And we're just going to lift up from here, dropping down through the sitting bones, so really feeling connected. Have a little wiggle, see if you can feel those sitting bones. And then drawing up through the crown of the head. Let's take the shoulders and give them a roll. So if you've been working on your computer today, your shoulders are going to be quite tight. I haven't. I've been lucky enough to be outside today with a small group in the forest. But I know how it feels, or how I feel at the end of the day after a day on the computer, and it's so difficult in the neck and the shoulders. And then we'll just squeeze up now, so pressing the hands into the legs, squeezing up around the ears, and then dropping down. And we'll do that twice more, squeezing up by the ears and then dropping down. One more, squeeze, really squeeze, and then dropping down. Good. Roll those shoulders back and down, taking the hands to the heart, pressing the thumbs into the chest, lifting up. Try not to overarch in your lumbar spine. Tilt the pelvis a little so that there's a bit of ease in the lower back. And then we roll the shoulders in and up. And we just sit for a moment and enjoy that sense of space between the crown of the head and the sitting bones. And we just allow everything to start to settle down. Take a couple of deeper inhales and exhales. And maybe we can connect with the palms of the hands in contact. Maybe we can feel warmth as they touch. Maybe we'll feel a little tingle of energy as the two palms connect at our heart. As our prana and our energy moves around the body, contained within this body. Good. And then bringing the hands down to rest on the knees or the thighs, keeping the lift in the body. And maybe we'll change the cross of the legs. So if it's starting to feel a little uncomfortable, you can stretch the legs out. I'm going to have to avoid willow. Bringing the legs now, either crossing them in the normal way, but just in the opposite way. So now the left leg is in front. And we're just going to close the eyes now. And we're just going to allow the awareness to drop down into the sitting bones again. So we've got a sense of the body in contact with the floor. And then we can allow the awareness to rise up the spine all the way up and out of the top of the head. So the crown of the head is rising up, and we can almost feel the spine expanding upwards out of that space, out of the grounding of the body and the legs. And we're going to take 3 inhales and exhales, and as we exhale we're just going to make a soft O with our mouth, like we're blowing through a straw. As we inhale and we exhale through that little O. Nice, long, slow exhale. Feeling the air leaving the body, and then we inhale again all the way in as deeply as we can without strain, and exhaling now through that little O. Nice, slow exhale. And then one more, we just inhale all the way in, exhale. and then just allow the breath to return to normal. And then we'll open the eyes gently, and you can keep the eyes looking down. So you might find now that there's a quietness that's come upon the face. And we're just going to take the hands and give them a rub together so that we've got a sense of energy in the palms of the hands. And we're going to bring that to the face and just rest the palms of the hands over the face so that you're covering the eyes. And the face can feel that warmth and that energy. And the eyes can be soft now where you've covered them. It gives them that permission to be soft and relaxed. And then we're going to take the tips of the fingers and we're just going to rub around the brow. Nice and slow circles, just around that space between the eyebrows and the hairline. Just giving yourself a little facial massage all around, and then coming out to the sides, to the temples, rubbing again, slow circles around the temples, around the top of the jaw. You can start to feel the hinge of the jaw under your fingers as you move the fingers down the jaw and along the bottom, round to beneath where the chin is and beneath the bottom lip, around the mouth, underneath the nose, up the nose, so just maybe rubbing up the sides of the nose, up around the sinuses, so underneath that cavity of the eye, gently, gently around this area. Good. And then we can just tap the face gently with our fingers all around, just tapping softly with the tips of the fingers on the face, onto the top of the head, just tapping with the fingers all over the top of the head, around behind the ears, now the back of the neck, and then just bringing the hands to the back of the neck and just giving that a little bit of a rub as well, especially those bits at the back of the head, behind the ears, those two hard bits of bone in the bottom of the base of the skull. Giving them a rub, and then coming down, and maybe if you can squeeze your shoulders, perhaps you could take hand to each shoulder and just squeeze the shoulders. Bringing the hands back to the shoulders and then squeezing the arms all the way down to the hands and bringing the hands back to the heart. And just see how that feels. See if you can enjoy that sensation of warmth. Maybe there's a bit of tingling. Good. And then just opening the eyes. And we'll release the legs because we've been sitting cross-legged for a while. Let's just bring the legs wide because that works for me with the cat. But it's also really nice just to gently now extend along the legs. And we'll just turn towards the right leg, turning to face that right leg. And then we'll take this left hand across to the outside of that right leg, and we'll just twist and turn the body. So we want nice upright spine. But from that uprightness, from that lift, we turn the body to look over the shoulder. We're using this left hand as a lever to just gently press into that right leg to turn. And you breathe. Feeling that restriction in the body from the twist, so in the abdomen and the back. But as you inhale, you're breathing into that, creating a bit of space. Releasing, turning now towards the left leg. Turn the whole body to face that left foot, lifting up, get your extension, and taking this right hand across the left thigh now, using that as a lever. The right hand comes behind the body, so you're on your fingertips behind your body, turning. And if the hand struggles to get to the floor, if you're leaning back a lot, you can always pop a cushion or a block under that hand so that you can really get that extension first before you turn and you look over the left shoulder. Breathing into that restriction. Use the breath to create space. Good. And then return back to centre. Just have a little wiggle. Turning to face that right leg again. We're just going to very carefully fold over that leg, really gently, so we're not straining to reach the foot or anything like that. We've got the hands resting on the floor, and we're just using the chest to lead the way. We're not leading the way with our heads, we're leading with our hearts. Sinking down. So for some people it could be a very subtle movement, and then we allow the head to relax so the back of the neck can be soft. So wherever you are, you might be quite far forward, but whatever you're doing, we're not forcing, we're not straining, we're just softening down, and the back of that leg is gently opening, it's gently responding to the weight of the upper body, and it's gently opening like a flower. The muscles aren't under any kind of pressure. Good. Soften the back of the neck. You can move the head around a little, and keeping some awareness in this other leg so that you're not leaning the whole weight over to this side. You've got a little bit of weight over in that left leg. And then we roll up from there, and we'll take ourselves over to the left, and again coming forwards over that left leg. Hands are on the floor either side. Carefully now, just let the head drop, back of the neck soft. We're trying to lead with the heart, so we don't want to be all kind of folded in like this. We're trying to lead with the heart so that the shoulders are soft and away from the ears, and the head is gently drawing down. Some of the weight is over in this right leg now. Using the exhale, every time you exhale you release a little more. So inhaling, you might find your upper body rises a little, and then as you exhale you sink down and you let go. Just a little bit more each time. The longer that you stay in these forward folds, and obviously many of the poses, the more you can relax into them and soften into them. Okay, so let's carefully now come up from there, and we'll bring ourselves back into a cross leg position. So it might be cross legs, it might be Sukhasana. So back to the first right leg in front, lifting up now really tall. We're just going to stretch out through the side of the body, so taking the right hand down, sliding the hand out along the floor, and very carefully just raising this arm up, connecting down through the left buttock. So make sure that left buttock is really grounded, and we're going to take the weight onto this right hand, pressing into it to turn the chest so that we can look up at that hand. Breathing here. Now if you feel there's a bit more space in the left side of the body for you to take this arm over, you're going to turn the hand to face the right hand wall, and then you're going to bring the arm down alongside the ear. So if you're finding that your posture's dropping, then you need to come back up a little bit. Bring that hand back up to 90 degrees and really get the proper opening in the chest. But if you've got a little bit of openness there, you can bring that arm down. Make sure it's alongside the ear and you're stretching into that finger. Raised fingers up there on the left, and then we're dropping down through the left buttock. Good, coming back up. Ooh. And we'll do the same on the other side, sliding the hand out now. Just turning the body away from that hand to start with, reaching up. It might be that you could take this arm out a little further. It might be that you could take a bend into that arm. Grounding down through the right buttock now, lifting up with this hand. Turn the palm if that's available to you. Bringing that arm alongside the ear. Oh, and take the breath into the side body. God, it feels so nice. Creating space, and also noticing as you inhale, you may need to rise up with the torso again. Exhaling down. It's almost like the wave of the breath just guides the movement of the body, because the body is never really still. The breath always moves the body, even when we lay still. Coming back up to centre. Good, and let's release the legs. And we'll change back again. So one last seated position. And you do another twist, this time a nice seated twist with the legs in front, or you can have them out in Dandasana again if that's not comfortable for you. Inhaling gently, so very softly lifting up. We're not overworking here, but we're just raising the arms up to turn the body to the right, bringing that left arm down onto the right leg, using it as a lever to turn and look over that right shoulder. The right hand is behind you and you're up on your fingertips, or you could have it on a block. Breathing into this twist. Good. And then we inhale the arms back up to centre, softly lifting the arms up so you're extending but you're not overworking, turning to face the left, bringing this right arm across onto the left thigh. Left arm's behind you, the hand, you're on the fingertips, shoulder blades are drawing in, pressing into the knees and the base of the body to get that turn. Almost like you're wringing out all the tension with this twist. So use the breath. Inhale, create space. Exhale, letting go of anything that doesn't serve you. And then we inhale the arms back up to centre. Lifting up now, looking up between the hands, bringing the hands down. We can lean back into the hands to take the legs out once more. Let's just unfold the legs. You can have the legs just directly out in front of you. Leaning back into the hands, rolling the shoulder blades in. And we're not taking the head back tonight. We're just going to take the chin down, but we're lifting the heart. Breathing, seeing if you can relax the belly. Feeling the openness in the chest. Good, and then we come back up to centre. And we're going to come off the support that we had underneath us, putting that to one side. And we're going to get our magic bolster and bring that out. So either a rolled up blanket or a bolster. And if you don't enjoy having equipment under you, then just come to the floor. I'm going to put my little block in front because this is quite thick and my lumbar spine isn't too keen on that distance from the bolster to the floor, but my chest loves it. So this is how I compensate. Put my little block down so that I can ease the back but still get that opening in the chest. And then I'm just laying down over the bolster now. I'm going to take something else for my head, something you can do if you've got a block. You could pop a blanket underneath, but you can put a block under one end, the other end of your bolster, so that it raises it up. Oh, and that's really great actually. And if it feels appropriate, bringing the soles of the feet together. And this week we've been in my classes just working on having the arms a little bit higher in these reclined poses. So normally they're sort of out in line with the shoulders, or they're just a little way away from the body when we're doing this relaxing over the bolster. But just see what it feels like to have the arms a little bit higher so that the backs of the hands can still rest on the floor. So just swinging them to a point where the backs of the hands are there and there is some rest, there's some release. We're drawing the chin down and we're pressing the soles of the feet together just a little to lift the pelvis, tucking under and then releasing back down again. So just close the eyes here and just allow the whole body to drop down into the support. And noticing how that's feeling in the armpit chest. And if it feels a little bit too intense, just let the arms come down a little bit more. Drawing down towards the legs a little more. So we're just getting that lovely opening across the chest and then the armpits, but we're not putting any huge efforts in, it's very passive. Just laying across the bolster, just enjoying this opening of the body. And so we'll all take the arms down a little bit now so that they're nearer to our sides and they're soft. And we just let go here. Take a couple of inhales, and as you exhale, you can exhale quite loudly, quite audibly. Do one more. We'll bring the knees in. Having the knees together, walking the feet out to the side now, and then just so the knees are resting together. And there's no effort now. And the hips are rotating inwards instead of outwards, so it's just gently countering having the soles of the feet together just now. And as the knees rest together, so the belly can release and relax. Enjoying the sensation of the chest lifting. And then from there we walk the feet back to parallel and take the legs out along the floor. And again we just allow the feet to drop out to the side and we allow the whole body to be soft. Good. Releasing with every exhale. Softening the body a little more each time. Good. And then taking the soles of the feet to the floor, we roll to the right very carefully to take out the equipment from underneath. Popping it to one side. You can keep something for your head if you want to. Otherwise, coming down onto the back. And actually what we'll do briefly is just to cup the head in the hands, so interlocking the hands, resting the head in the hands, just lifting up a little bit, just let it be soft, let the whole weight of the head be surrendered into the hands, and then drawing the elbows out to the side, coming down to the floor. So the head is resting on the hands, the elbows are drawing down. See how this feels in the shoulders. If it's really uncomfortable, you can take the hands out from underneath your head. Hopefully it will feel good, it will feel like a good stretch across the armpit chest. And also it gives the chin the chance to draw down, back of the neck is long. And once again we can take the soles of the feet together and allow the hips to open if that feels appropriate. If that doesn't feel appropriate, you can rest the knees together with feet wide. So just for a moment longer, staying here in this open but relaxed pose. See if you can allow the body to be soft. Giving the body permission to release. And then we'll release the hands from under the head. And again, if you enjoyed having a little bit of something under the head there, pop a block underneath, or a softer blanket if that feels better. Blocks are quite hard on the head, I always think. You feel like you're sort of going to roll off them. Blankets are nicer, I think, for under the head. Bringing the knees in now, and we're just going to take both knees in to the chest, squeezing them in, and then we're just rolling from side to side. Massaging the back, massaging the belly, so all the organs in the gut and around that area. The kidneys and the back of the body. Everything's getting a little bit of attention, a little gentle massage. And you might feel it's appropriate if you want to lift the head up, you can extend a bit more through the spine. You could rock a tiny bit from side to side here to work into the muscles either side of the spine. Bring the head down. Taking the feet to the floor, taking the arms out in line with the shoulders. And then we'll have a little gap between the feet. So the feet are in line with the hips, the knees are parallel, pointing upwards. We're just going to drop the knees to the right, and we're going to turn to look down the left of the left arm. So the left ear draws down towards the floor, and the knees drop down to the right. And we're not particularly, we're not forcing, but we're putting maybe a gentle pressure onto the knees, just with our own muscles, just that we get a nice deep twist in the back. And once again, using the breath to increase that feeling. Bringing the knees back up to centre now, and we take them over to the left, turning the head to look down the right. Oh, release down. Use the exhale to let go. The inhale fills the body, creates the space, and the exhale allows us to let go. Drawing that right ear down towards the floor, and the knees are drawing over to the left, and in between that beautiful sinuous spine of ours is twisting and releasing. Bringing the knees back up to centre now. We'll just take the right knee in and gently and carefully extend the left leg out. Just enjoying that stretch, diagonal stretch in the body, in the legs, feeling it in the groins. And then we'll change sides, bringing that left leg in, right leg out to the side. Good. Breathing here. Maybe you can hear Willow gently snoring. It's quite a relaxing sound. If you ever want to know how to relax, watch a cat. They are the masters. So just having the hands now softly resting on the belly, and just once again connecting with the sense of warmth coming from the hands. We can rest the knees together too, so that there's a softness in the legs. And the shoulders are soft. And as the hands rest on the belly, maybe we can feel them gently rising and falling with the in and out breath. Maybe we could close the eyes here. just spend a few moments just feeling the hands gently rising and falling. Feeling the warmth of the hands rest on the belly. Perhaps allowing the muscles of the belly to be really soft now. Good. And then from there we're going to get ready for our Shavasana, for our relaxation pose, so where we lay in stillness for a few minutes. So I would advise now that you really are warm as you lay still, and you could get chilly, so maybe you want to cover yourself with a blanket or two, have some socks on, and just you're going to be laying on your back, and you can continue to rest the hands on the body if that feels good, or you can have the hands in a traditional placement, which is by the sides, with the shoulders relaxed, the palms are facing up, and the legs, take them out a little wider than normal, and just allow the feet to drop out to the side. So you stay where you are. I'm going to come up to sitting so that I can talk you through your Shavasana, your relaxation. So getting yourself settled. You might want to have an eye bag resting, or some sort of something over the eyes, some sort of weighted cushion, or which can really help you to relax. It can really help the eyes to be soft in the same way when we had our hands over our eyes earlier. That felt really good. And you're just going to pay a bit of attention to the breath in the body. Noticing it coming into the body on the inhale and leaving the body on the exhale. And just noticing how the body responds to that gentle wave-like motion. So being aware that we don't need to control our breathing, it just happens. But we can take a gentle control of that when we're doing our pranayama. And maybe tonight we can do that once again. So as you inhale, just maybe counting how long it takes you to inhale. And then maybe counting how long it takes you to exhale. And you're trying to allow the breath to be its normal pattern, its normal self. We're not trying to really control it. It's difficult because as soon as you bring your awareness to something, there will be some element of the mind trying to control it. But as far as possible, just allow the natural rhythm of your breath to be. And once you know how long that exhale is, maybe you could try and increase that exhale by one extra count. Keeping the inhale as it is, making no changes to the inhale, but just increasing the exhale by one. So that involves making the breath a little longer, and maybe the exhale is a bit softer. So you're not rushing out all of the air in one go. So a bit like when we blew out through the circle of the lips, that slowed down that exhale quite considerably, didn't it? You might like to try the same thing again in order to elongate that exhale in a comfortable way. And if there's any stress or strain or tension being created by doing this pranayama, then just drop the practice and just carry on observing the breath entering and leaving the body in its own way. We're just staying with this pranayama practice for a little bit longer. You can visualise as you exhale all of the tension, all the things that no longer serve you, just leaving the body, leaving the mind. As you inhale, drawing in positive energy. Exhaling, releasing our waste, things we don't need. Maybe we're enjoying that sense of spaciousness. No effort now with the breath, just letting go now of any practice, any pranayama, any control. And we allow the breath to return to its normal rhythm. Feeling the belly and the chest rising and falling. And now we're going to take 1 minute of just complete peace and quiet. I'm not going to say any more. At the end of that period of time, I'm just going to ring the bell and very quietly disappear. And you have the choice when you hear the bell, you can roll to the right and come up and go off to bed, or you might choose to stay for a bit longer in your relaxation. So just spending another minute now in complete quiet in your Shavasana.